What if I told you that you could have a professor of genetic genealogy create a personalized video explaining exactly how your ancestry DNA matches work? Not just generic information, but using examples from your own match list. I'm about to show you how to do exactly that using a free Google AI tool. There is a lot of science and statistics behind how Ancestry matches you with the millions of other customers in their DNA database. The company has published white papers explaining how it works, but let's be honest, these technical documents aren't light reading. That's where NotebookLM comes in. If you haven't heard of it, NotebookLM is Google's AI research assistant that works exclusively with sources you give it. Unlike ChatGPT, which pulls from general information, NotebookLM only uses the specific documents you upload or link to. If you give it a scientific paper about DNA matching, it becomes an expert on just that paper. And if you copy over details from your Ancestry DNA match list, you can ask it to reference your examples when explaining the science. Let me show you briefly what this looks like. As you can see, it's not just explaining generic concepts, it's referencing my specific matches using my actual shared centimorgans as examples. So let's get started. First step is to go to NotebookLM. Let's just stick NotebookLM into Google here and I'll go to the main page. So I'll click on this main page and then I'll click on Try NotebookLM. You just need a Google account for the free version. So you come to this page here. What you want to do is you want to create a new notebook. So I'll just use this button up the top here, this Create New button. The first thing you see, it does pop up this Add Sources. I'm going to just close this. We will come back to this page, but I'm going to close it and give you a bit of an overview. With NotebookLM, you get 3-panel page. Over here on the left will be your sources, uploaded PDFs, documents, links to websites. Here, I'm not going to do anything here with this middle pane, and this is basically the chat. I'm going to ignore it completely for this exercise. And over here on the right is once you've uploaded your sources, you do the interesting stuff over here. You'll be creating an explainer video, and there's a few other things you can do as well. So now we've got the lay of the land. The first thing we want to do is upload our sources. And I'm going to click Add Source, and then either I've got PDFs saved on my hard drive, for example, I would upload them here. You can link to Google Drive, which I tend not to do, but what I do often use is providing link to web pages. You click on website and you just paste in the URL. You can paste in one or more URLs. Similarly, link to YouTube. Now, what sometimes happens is that you have access to web content. Let's say it's behind a paywall or you have to log in to get at it. And you put the link here, NotebookLM will tell you that it can't access it. In that case, you can copy the text, use this box over here, just click on copy text and you can paste it in here to be used as a source. In my case, the Ancestry white papers are available as PDFs on the Ancestry website. I'm going to give it a link to the Ancestry white paper on its matching. I need to find it. So I'll go to Google and I'll type in Ancestry white paper. And what you'll get here is Ancestry DNA white papers. What I'm looking for in this list of white papers is this on DNA matching. I'll click on the link and just open it, and it's 35 pages of quite dense scientific material. I'm going to use NotebookLM to help me understand the material in the context of my own matches. Just highlight that. I want to give NotebookLM the link, copy that link back over to NotebookLM, and down here it lets you stick in a link to a web page, and I've now pasted in that white paper. I'm going to provide one more link here to a blog article that provides a lot of details about Ancestry DNA matching, and it's this article here. And yes, it is written by me on my website. Now, you might have a favorite article on another blogger's site. I can't speak to how other writers feel about their work being used in NotebookLM for people's personal use. All I can say is I have no problem. Please feel free to copy the link and put it here. So now I've got the two. I'll click Insert, and you'll see that they appear over here. Checkmark, it's found it. Checkmark, it's found it. Now, the chat provides a description of the two articles. The provided texts offer a dual perspective, there's two of them, on Ancestry DNA's matching capabilities, with one source guiding users on how to interpret their DNA match list, that's my one, and the other offering a technical white paper detailing the underlying scientific methodology. That is the Ancestry DNA one. So here's my tip after some experimentation. My first attempt, I did just give it the Ancestry white paper. The explainer was good. But what I found when I gave it the second document, which is more of a layperson's guide to understanding your DNA matches, the emphasis shifted from here's what the science means to here's how to understand your matches in the context of the science. So now I'm going to come over here to the right and I want to generate a video overview. Don't go and click the video overview straight away. That will give you a decent video, but it will be specific to precisely the material in the two sources and it won't have anything about your own DNA matches. Instead, we'll customize the video by providing a prompt. Click the ellipsis there, the three buttons, and hit customize. And this is a prompt window where you can give the AI instructions to steer the presentation. I've put this prompt into a PDF as part of the accompanying material available for download for this video, but it's not that long. You can just follow along and type it in. The presenter is a professor of genetic genealogy who is explaining the science behind DNA matching to a classroom of adult learners who are at the level of 8th grade science. Let me pause there just to do some explanation. 8th grade science is the year before high school, about 14 years old. The reason I said a classroom of adult learners is in an earlier attempt I had said an 8th grade classroom. And because that meant the audience themselves would be early teens, the video explainer was geared towards making it entertaining for early teens. It was like, you are a detective and we're going to hunt for clues. And I just would prefer to be oriented towards myself as an adult. So, a classroom of adult learners with this level of scientific knowledge. Margaret is a member of the class. She uploaded her DNA to Ancestry.com and showed the professor her DNA match list. The professor uses these three examples throughout the presentation. If you're wondering who Margaret is me. I did try giving it the first page of my matches. That's 50 matches. That was too much. I picked two of the matches to discuss, and they weren't the two that I wanted it to discuss. I'm going to give it three explicit matches that I'm going to copy the details from the Ancestry page. The first person is my highest match. So now I'm going to open up Ancestry, and what I want to do is I want to get the exact measures that Ancestry puts. So here's my top match, Marianne, and Ancestry has determined that she is first cousin 1x removed. So I will copy that info, and that is Marianne. I'm going to put it in quotes, and then I am going to put the amount of centimorgans that Ancestry say. So I'll just copy that, 433 centimorgans. And now I want to give it a more distant relative, but I want to take somebody who Ancestry is giving two distinct measures. And that would be Orla. Switch back into Ancestry. I scroll down and they have Orla as third cousin or half second cousin 1x removed. I want to see how the explainer does with that. That in, and then I want to take the 95 centimorgan. And then finally, I want to give a distant cousin, someone down on my lowest matches. So if I go to Ancestry, I'm going to put on a filter and I am going to filter on shared DNA and I'm going to put a custom centimorgan range of 8 centimorgans. I'll say to 8.5. Hit apply filter. So my filter has brought me here at the fourth cousin level. Take a look for an interesting one. James, who is half third cousin 1 time removed or third cousin 2 time removed. Copy that. James, paste his relationship, and he is 8 centimorgans. You're welcome to use mine as examples. It's just good to get different levels of centimorgans here. I've actually done this once before, and although it gave me a good video, it focused on the centimorgans. It didn't make much mention of the ancestry relationship here. So I'm going to ask it, please explain the methodology behind DNA matching, the significance of the different CM, and why some of the described cousin relationships are not exact. So that is the full prompt. I'll now click on generate. Pops up this message here. It's generating the video. This may take a while, and it will take a while. It could take 20 minutes. I'll pause here and come back when it's done. So back after it was about 20 minutes and this has completed. It used two sources. Your choices are to play it in the browser or you can download it. I just hit play here and comes into this little window here. 6.5 minutes. That does tend to be the length of the video. You can play it in this tiny little screen here, but you can also expand it to play in full screen in your browser. And I am going to download this one, and that will come down to my downloads folder as, just open here, it is an MP4. You will naturally be more interested in your own results, but I'll give you a taster of what you can expect.
So you've gotten your DNA results back, and you're staring at this long list of names, and you're thinking, what does any of this mean? You know, Margaret from our class here was kind enough to let us use her results. Okay, let's look at Margaret's second match. Orla. Why can't Ancestry just tell her exactly how they're related? Well, the answer takes us right back to that random shuffle of DNA we talked about.
And I'll cut that there. The fact that it uses your own results, it's pretty impressive, right? Do you know what? When your learning content doesn't need a visual expression, the audio podcast from NotebookLM is even more impressive. I made a tutorial using NotebookLM to explain your ancestry ethnicity estimates via a 40-minute audio podcast with two experts discussing your results. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's in the same playlist as this video. Like this video, and I'd be really interested, once you've had a go at this, it would be great if you could come back and leave a comment and tell me how you got on.